So good afternoon, gentlemen. My name is Anthony Treichel. Most of you know me. For those that don't, I used to be here in this program, and now I've gotten myself into a new place, so I'm returning as a visitor because you guys are all still my friends.
Hey Anthony.
What's up, Anthony?
Nice to meet you. I'm Brian.
What's up, Brian?
It's our beautiful audience.
Alcoholism. So imagine a reality where we can gather together with family and friends, celebrate life's moments, and create joyful memories without having to worry about the dangers of alcohol. A world where having a good time doesn't come with the consequences of life or death, and where we never have to fear for the safety of our loved ones. Today we have the power to create that world, starting right now with us. In our culture, alcohol is deeply idolized through familial tradition, passed down for generations, and constant glorification of alcohol in our media. Because of this, sobriety is often seen as unwanted or undervalued. But to shift that, we could limit how alcohol is advertised, make treatment options more accessible, and start teaching in our homes and learning institutions that sobriety isn't just giving something up. It's about gaining everything back. So let's begin with an influence that hits close to home, our family. For many people, alcohol isn't first introduced at a party or at a bar. It's introduced at home, and I know this from experience. I started drinking at just the age of 7 years old, sipping glasses of wine at the dinner table, and no one force-fed me alcohol. It wasn't like that. But when it comes to the actions of our parents, what we see carries more weight than what we are told. Drinking was just part of life, how we celebrated, how we coped, how we unwound, even how we just amassed together. And at times, you'll even hear, this is exactly how it's supposed to be, and no one can take that away from us. That message is clear. Drinking was normal and even expected. And according to the National Institute on Alcohol Abuse and Alcoholism, children of alcoholics are 3 to 5 times more likely to develop alcoholic problems themselves. That risk isn't about biology whatsoever. It's about environment, habits, and conditioning. And I'm a living, breathing example of this. And all the while, these drinks were being poured in my home. There was a TV on in the background, and it did have that ball game, MTV, or that Hallmark movie on, quietly reinforcing the same message. Drinking is how we relax, how we have fun, and how we fit in. Drinking is our reality. Our media plays a massive role in this cycle. In movies, shows, and music, alcohol is rarely portrayed with consequences. Instead, it is a reward. A symbol of status, independence, and money, or freedom. Commercials show people laughing with drinks in hand, at barbecues, hanging out with friends or family, and having the best times, never passed out in the back of an ambulance or dead in a DUI crash. Our favorite artists often double down on the positivity of alcohol. Songs like Poppin' Bottles by T.I., Shots by LMFAO and Little John, and 40 Ounces to Freedom by Sublime glorify heavy drinking like it's something to be proud of. These songs aren't just catchy, they're cultural staples. And for young people especially, they help build the idea that drinking itself isn't just fun, it's expected. It reminds me of how smoking cigarettes used to be. For decades, tobacco was glamorized and publicized. Actors puffed on cigarettes in films. Enabling doctors appeared in ads, supportive of the industry, and the risks were hidden behind slogans like cool, relaxing, even the freedom for the taking. But as the truth came out, public health campaigns pushed back. We regulated tobacco ads, removed smoking from kid-friendly media, and eventually changed how society viewed smoking entirely. The same shift is possible with alcohol, but only if we start treating its glorification like the serious public health issue it is. Now let's talk about the real measurable damage. And according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, alcohol is responsible for over 140,000 deaths in the United States every single year. That includes car crashes, alcohol poisoning, liver disease, cancer, heart problems, and mental health disorders like anxiety, depression, and suicide. Those consequences rarely show up in the advertising or in any of our conversations. And instead, people struggling with sobriety often feel isolated or even judged. They're told they're boring, they're too uptight, or no fun at all. And in some communities, choosing sobriety is more stigmatized than addiction itself. And even for those that do want help, the road isn't always accessible. Treatment can be expensive, rehab may be far away, and for many, it means stepping away from work or family responsibilities, ultimately sacrificing income or stability just to get better. And in the short term, that sacrifice can feel like a setback and not at all like a solution, which is exactly what drives so many people away from seeking help in the first place. That's why we need policy changes that move beyond awareness. We need action. First, we need to limit alcohol advertising, especially in spaces where youth and vulnerable communities are likely to see it. Just like we did with cigarettes, regulating how much alcohol is marketed can reduce its influence, particularly when it's tied to music, sports, or social status. And second, we need to expand access to treatment. That means funding community-based recovery centers, training more counselors, and making rehab affordable and stigma-free. And finally, we need to start teaching differently in our homes and our schools and our media. Sobriety isn't a punishment. It isn't boring. It's the path to a clearer, safer, and more empowering life. In the beginning, we imagined a world where we would never have to fear for the safety of our loved ones. Now we have the power to make that vision our reality. By limiting how alcohol is advertised, making treatment options more acceptable, accessible, and educating our communities. We're not just giving something up, we're gaining everything back. Because the most loving thing we can do for ourselves and for those who we care about is to support and celebrate life gained through sobriety. Not one that's burdened with shame or pressure, but that's built on clarity, confidence, and community. Sobriety isn't a loss, it's a return to who we really are. And the more we lift each other up, the easier it becomes to choose a life that doesn't need alcohol to feel full. So the next time we celebrate, or just unwind, to try to connect, let's ask ourselves, what are we teaching? What are we modeling? And how do we start making sobriety not just accepted, but honored? Because change doesn't start with a billboard or a law. Change starts with us.
Amen.
All right, John. Thanks, brother. So here you go. Very good. So
What class is this for?
this is for my Communications 101 class.
Nice. I think one of the things that I got out of that